we have been getting requests for quite a bit of time now to add in the ability to perform bulk operations with an Appwrite database, and now it's finally here with a bulk API. So with this update, you're now going to be able to perform multiple database operations in a single call. You'll enjoy faster writes and better performance. So in this video, I want to dive into my code base here. I want to show you how this works and just demo all of it for you. So the first thing I want to mention here is that the bulk API is only available with server SDKs. So we're using the Node Appwrite SDK. Just make sure you're not trying to use this with a client web SDK. So with that, I just set up a simple instance here where I have my client and database instance, and I created a function with a standard create document method. So this right here adds in a single item into my database. Now with the bulk API here, we can now call create documents like this, and we just need to make a simple adjustment here. So once we pass in our database and collection ID, we can pass in an array right here and throw in multiple items into a single request. Now we're going to call this method, and it's going to go ahead and add these into my database. So I'm going to save this, and I call add items down here. And if we take a look at what I have here, I have a simple project, a database called main, and a collection called products here, and there's nothing in here at the moment. So let's go ahead and run this. So I'll just run node main.js, and that went ahead and ran that. And if we just go ahead and refresh our products collection, we should see these items in here. So here we go. We see both of these items were added, and this was done in a single request here. So pretty cool. Now we can add multiple items. So I want to take you through the other CRUD operations. So I want to be able to call delete documents and also show you how to update some documents, because there are some caveats with these. So what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and copy this add items function, and we're going to duplicate this, and we'll just comment this out because we're going to call delete right now, and I want to show you how to delete multiple items in a single request. So this way we don't have to write our own custom scripts or customize that code, maybe like a for loop or something like that. This single operation takes care of this for us. So we'll change this to delete, and the actual method that we're going to call is going to be delete documents. So that's the actual function that deletes them. And let's just go ahead and clear this out, and I'll explain how this works. So when we call delete documents, what we need to do is we need to pass in some values to basically specify what we want to delete. So right now, if I just run this, what it's going to do is it's actually going to delete all the documents in this collection. So we have two documents here. So we just want to filter this down. So let's go ahead and actually import query here. And we're going to add in a filter, and basically the data is going to get filtered down, and then that filter data is what's going to be removed. So here we're going to pass in this array, and we're going to pass in query.equal. So we're going to find a value by its name. And in this case, we're going to throw in an array, and we only have two documents. So we're just going to delete a name with balls. So if we had multiple documents with this name, or later on, if we had something like a type here, and let's say we had multiple items that were under sport or that category, then it would remove those. So let's just go ahead and add in ball, and we'll just make sure that's case sensitive here. So now when we call this, this should be removed. So we'll throw in delete documents. We'll make sure to call that. And then let's go ahead and run it again. So we'll call main.js. And now if I refresh this, this should delete ball from here. So it just filtered it down and deleted that. Now, right now we only have one item, but if we don't add anything in here, as I mentioned, this right here isn't going to filter down our data to anything. So it's basically just grabbing everything in there. And if I run it again, it's going to delete everything in this collection, which is just a single item. And now we have nothing in here. So next, what I want to do is show you how to update some items. So first, before we do that, I just want to modify this. And instead of using this data, I actually have a file called data.json here. And the data is a little bit more customized. So I just want to import this, use this, we'll call create documents again. And then when we're updating it, it's going to look a little bit better. So the example is going to work better with more data. So let's just go ahead and run this import. So we'll import data from, and then this will be data.json. Then we'll do assert, and then we'll just do type, and this will be JSON. And that right there should bring the data in. And now for add items, we can just throw in this array. So this is all inside of an array, and let's just quickly add these items. So to do that, we'll just go ahead and remove the comments and then trigger the next one. Let's quickly add those. So this added all those items here, and now we have a bunch of items, but they all have a discount here. So we have a different percentage or whatever we want to reference this as for the discount. And then we have a type, which is a category. I figured maybe calling it category would be better, but I just call it type and that's the way that it is. So we have sports and technology, and I want to update items and update their discount based on the type of item that it is. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's just copy delete here and we'll paste that in. And for now, let's just comment out add item so we don't forget this. And for the function that we create, we're just going to do update items. And then for the actual method, this will be update documents. So the way that this works here is we first pass in what we want to update. So we're going to pass in a key value pair here, and we're just going to say, okay, we want to update the discount parameter here. So we'll do discount, and we want to change this value to, let's say, 50. And then we need to specify what items we're going to update. So the next one here is going to be this filter. So we're going to pass in an array here. So we'll do query.equal. And at this point, let's just go ahead and grab these by a value here. So we'll just say if the type is of sports, then we want to change the discount to 50%. So right now we have a bunch of different discounts for all sports items. So we have 8%, then we have 20, 5, 15, and 10. And we want to change this. So for the filter, we'll just say if the type is equal to sports here, then we just want to update the discount to 50% here. So this now is going to update every document that has this matching parameter. So now we just want to go ahead and call this. We'll run update items. And let's just go ahead and trigger that. And now if I refresh this, we're going to see all these updates. So sports are all down here. We see these different values. And let's just see if that worked. And here we go. Now we see all sports items here are now updated to 50, and we're able to do that with a single operation. So that does it for our product tour of the bulk API. Remember that this can handle thousands of operations simultaneously. It's going to reduce our API calls that we need to make to perform these operations, and it's something that's going to be very easy to use. It's a simple update in the methods that you're using. So I hope you enjoy this, and with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.